Hey guys, Mr. Weaver coming at you here for week 3 of distance learning. Get focused. Today's date is Wednesday, April 20th, 2020, and this week's session includes chapter 6, which is entitled Career Research. So the last two chapters, chapters 4 and 5, you guys figured out what kind of lifestyle you want, what kind of budget you want. Chapter 5 took a look at 10 different careers that you might be interested in that make that amount of money that you need to support your lifestyle, which brings us to chapter 6, which is what are 3 types of careers that you could be possibly interested in by the time you leave Nevada Union and go out in the real world. So in order to get going with chapter 6, what I need to show you is what you got to work with. So let me have the producers move over to our computer network here. And you got the old website, www.weaverscience.com. Find the Get Focused, Stay Focused link at the top of the website, which is right here. And if you highlight it down, you got my 10-year plan, chapter 4, chapter 5, and chapter 6 for this week. If you take a look at chapter 6, first thing you see is that YouTube chapter 6 video that we are looking at right now as I speak. Underneath there, session number 3 instructions, a little bit more detailed instructions to navigate through chapter 6 this week. The third thing is a list called career clusters that might help you out in some of your research. And finally, last but not least, there's a website link on the bottom called ONET Online that will help you get a lot of information for each of the 3 careers that you might have chosen. Now, the good news this week is you only have 2 activities in chapter 6. That's pretty sweet. The not so good news is the first activity is not worth 10 project points. It's worth 30 project points, because the whole idea of chapter 6 is for you to figure out 3 different types of careers that you might have an interest in. Could be a musician, could be a pro athlete, could be an actor, could be a doctor, could be a lawyer, could be a nurse, you name it. So the name of the game is looking at 3 different types of careers. So let me have the camera go back to the computer here, and I'm going to queue up my 10yearplan.com so I can show you what you guys have in store. So if we come across on the left-hand side to chapter 6, career research, as always, there's that first video, heads up from Dane. We're going to skip that thing, and we're going to go straight down to the second one, which says Career Interest Survey, activities 150 through 155. And as I click on this, this is what the first activity looks like. And it looks like it's not a whole lot, but it actually is, because in this activity, which, as I mentioned before, is worth 30 project points, you need to type in 3 different careers that would match your lifestyle salary that you guys researched a while back. So here's just an example on how this works, because it's kind of specific. Let's say the first job title that I'm interested in is a nurse. So I would type in nurse, and I'm going to hit Save Career. That's the first career that I'm going to look at. And you guys will see there's a little red exclamation point, nurse has been created. Okay, so now what I need to do is add my second career that I'm interested in. And there's a green hyperlink above the blue bar that says add new career. I'm going to click on that thing. And it says step 1, create a new job title. Well, let's say I'm interested in becoming a lawyer too. So I would type in lawyer, L-A-W-Y-E-R, and I want to save that career. And then last but not least, well, actually before that, here's my careers that I've created so far. I got lawyer that I just created. I've got nurse over here. And I've got one more career, because the whole idea here is to research 3 careers. So I'm going to go back to add new career again. I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to type in my 3rd career. Let's say I wanted to be a doctor. So D-O-C-T-O-R. Type in doctor and hit save career. And as you can see, I've saved 3 careers. I've got a doctor, a lawyer, and a nurse. Now what I need to do is answer the following information for all 3 careers. And there's a lot of information. There's something called career cluster. There's the ONET title. And there's a lot of information down below that I need to answer in detail, in terms also as far as what's the average salary that I could make, etc. So as you can see, there's a lot of things to do for each career. So let's kind of go through and let me show you how this is done for one specific career. This would be the doctor. The career cluster, a career cluster is a group of jobs, and there are 16 different career clusters. So in order to find where a doctor could be found, you could go to that link that I put on weaverscience.com that has career clusters. Let me go here. And here are the 16 groups or clusters. So if I want to be a doctor, that would probably be under some type of health science, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Where's the health, human services, health science? It would be under health science right there. So the career cluster for a doctor would be health science. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this where it says in red, and I'm going to go all the way at the bottom to health science, and boom, I've got the career cluster for doctor all taken care of. Now, step 3 says ONET. ONET is a website that's going to help you find a lot of information. And I'll show you ONET in just a moment. So if I go up here, the ONET hyperlink is on weaverscience.com. It says occupation quick search at the top of this website that's called onetonline.org. I'm going to type in doctor. And I'm going to hit return. And it asks me what kind of doctor. Let's say I want to be a surgeon. It says tasks, technology skills surgeons need to have, knowledge, skills, abilities, work activities, detailed work activities, job zones, education. This is good stuff. So it says I need to get a doctoral degree to become a doctor. The education is going to be a good one there. Also down below, it talks about average salaries. Average salary for a doctor of that capacity is about $208,000. So a lot of that information that I'm going to need for my research and my 10-year plan can be found on ONET, which is great. So I'm going to click on this bar, what ONET title would be required to be a doctor. And I would scroll down. And family and general practitioner's doctor or ER doctor. Again, you choose what type of doctor you wanted to be. Click on that and you are good to go. Down below, once you've gotten past the career cluster and the ONET title, you've got a lot of questions that you need to answer. All I'm looking for is one sentence that is in a completed sentence, okay? And try to be as detailed as possible. This is going to help you later in the long run. Question 1 is, what specific tasks would I perform on the job? What is the job environment likely to be? onet.com or ONET that I mentioned, that hyperlink has a lot of this information. If you can't find this information, Google is a great bet as well, okay? So again, you're going to go down all the way through here. Question number 6 says, what level of education and training? It says you select on that. To be a doctor, you're going to need a doctor or a professional degree. Okay. Answer questions 7, 8, 9. All this information is found on ONET, as I mentioned before. All the way down here to questions 15 and 16. However, here's what I want you to see. When you get to this part where it says today, whatever the date is, I want you to stop. I do not want you to do the information after question 16. Don't want any of this time frame. That's not important. Now, once I've answered all of this information for the doctor position, then I'm going to click on the lawyer position. And I'm going to go through and answer all the questions 1 through 16 again. To become a lawyer, the career cluster that I'm looking at is law and public safety. And the ONET title required for that, depending on what kind of law I want. If I wanted to be a criminal justice lawyer, I'd click on that. Okay, all that stuff is found on ONET and my career clusters list. And again, you're going to go through and you're going to answer all 16 questions, but don't do the bottom part. Last but not least, go to your final career, which in this case, in the example, was a nurse. I'd click on nurse, and I'm going to go through and do the same thing. Once you've done this for all 3 of the careers, 1 through 16 for each of the 3 careers, and we've skipped this calendar part down here, then and only then are you going to come down here and click on the finished button. Once you've done that for all 3 jobs, that's 10 project points apiece, 30 project points, you guys are done. However, don't forget the very last part, the easiest part of the entire chapter, the checkpoints. Chapter 6 checkpoints is the last activity that I'm looking for you guys to do. Go through, answer all those questions, hit finished, and you are good to go. So again, we're looking at 3 different types of careers that you might possibly be interested in or see yourself doing later on in life. If you have any questions whatsoever, hit me up with an email, mweaver@njuhsd.com. All that information to do this and more is on that website, www.weaverscience.com. And as always, you guys stay classy in you. Bye-bye.